Let's talk about discomfort. That real just, no, thank you. That kind of discomfort, and why embracing that may actually be the key to your success. Discomfort is one of these things that are so exposing to who we actually are, that if we can take a moment to just learn a little bit about our own response behavior to what discomfort comes into our life, we can actually create a lot of forward momentum when we learn that this is actually an opportunity for us to take advantage of. The thing about discomfort is that it is just life's way of teaching us that we are at a bit of a precipice.
You know, I do live life by the edge. You know, I'm on the precipice. I'm looking down the gorge. Woo, baby!
We're at a moment to either step back or push through. And what I've found in my own life is that discomfort is often the thing that tells me I'm moving in the right direction. After all, when we look at it, discomfort is the thing that tells me that I'm generally doing something positive in my life. Is it comfortable to be sitting in the middle of a 2K workout knowing that it's going to only hurt more? No, that is not an enjoyable feeling. But what is enjoyable is the aftermath that comes from that. It leads to an outcome that I am generally happy with. It almost creates this wellness sensation for me because I know what it's going to bring. And the more that you end up training your body and your life to embrace discomfort, the more that you find it starts losing its impact on you. And once that happens, you start clearing the hurdle to be moving forward. And often, as a society, we tend to spend so much effort, time, money, attention on avoiding discomfort. It's actually remarkable. But the problem is that discomfort level is often the thing that we need to do to help ourselves. Let's take food, for example. Is it comfortable to eat nothing but vegetables? No, it's probably far more comfortable and satisfying to eat donuts all day. There's no discomfort in that decision. It's an easy, palatable decision where I don't have to feel uncomfortable about making the decision. There's no real friction to that because it's so easy. Sugar is essentially a drug that tricks our mind into thinking that we're not hungry, into thinking that we are enjoying it more than we actually are. And when we fall into this cycle of chasing comfort, that comfort can also come in the form of sitting on the couch or not going for a walk or a workout. It can be that simple. There's an extreme aversion to discomfort in our society today, and that discomfort is often the thing that leads us in the right direction, and our world is built around comfort. How do we create more comfort in our lives? Can our bed be more comfortable? Can our furniture be more comfortable? Can our decisions about fitness be more comfortable? And this, as a prime example, comes from creating environments where it's easier and easier and easier to get a workout. Now, is that a bad thing? Not altogether. For example, Mirror, as a new fitness company, puts a mirror in your living room. It looks like a mirror, so when you're not using it, it's a lifestyle item. But when you do want to work out, boom, you turn it on and there's a fitness instructor behind the mirror like he's been staring at you the whole time behind a two-way mirror. That part gets me a little bit. Now, that discomfort aside, that can generally be a good comfort level. But what isn't good is when we start to be comforted into almost sedation, where we build a life around us that requires so little input and so few challenges that we can just glide effortlessly through life. The area in which that becomes a problem is we no longer have anything to strive for. If nothing is hard, then there is essentially no reward system. We don't get to feel the victory of having to have worked hard for something and then see the outcome. For example, losing weight. Half of, or even more of the benefit to losing weight is that you get to feel and own the success that you went through in that process. None of it was easy, and you get to look back with pride and say, yes, I did all of that. It was my decision, and I did it. And it was the struggle that made it worth it. And you can go back to these cliched sayings of it's the journey, not the finish line, that is the reward. But it's true. And that's because along the way, you face challenge, you face discomfort, you face things that make it hard and make you realize that you are human and that you made good decisions along the way. When I show up for a workout, no matter what time of day it is, it's almost always an uncomfortable decision because I know there's going to be some level of pain or and not bad pain, ooh, this is really hard kind of pain. There's gonna be some level of discomfort there, whether I'm hot and sweaty and I might want water. Maybe it's 95 degrees in the garage here and I still walk out and do some sort of a workout. That challenge becomes the thing that when I'm done, I get to go, you're bathed in your choices to have gone and pushed through discomfort to allow yourself to feel the success that comes along after. And what's important to understand here is that by making the consistent decision to lean into discomfort, you begin to build a momentum. You begin to build a decision-making pattern that your body begins to trust and enjoy and like. And what many people who lean into that find over time is that all of a sudden the decisions get a lot easier for them to make the better decision versus the comfort decision. I know personally that when I start getting more and more into the rhythm of my training here, or for example, into making videos, when I am getting into the rhythm of showing up, turning on the camera, I will tell you, there are days where I'm very averse to wanting to be on camera. And those days are very hard. I can spend a whole day procrastinating and then turn on the camera at the last moment. And it never feels good. The rest of the day felt like a waste because the whole time I was just trying to avoid the discomfort of turning on the camera. Well, the more often that I flip the camera on and simply start filming, even if I don't feel great with it, the more likely I am to begin to turn the camera on again and again and again, making better and better content for you. It means that I get to learn every time I do it, and so on and so forth. And that momentum is what really starts to drive lifestyle change for you, whatever that is. And it's because when you get comfortable with the discomfort, the decisions start leaning in that direction, you begin to get this supercharged boost behind you that starts to gravitate towards all of the best stuff that you need in your life, because you feel what it's like to push through that and to not sit back and take the easy path, but instead take the path less traveled. Man, I'm full of cliches today, but to take that path less traveled because so few people are willing to do it. And if you are, that is the thing that is going to nudge you faster past other people and make the changes that you want to see, not waiting for somebody else to do it for you. And it can be so powerful in somebody's life when you can set that consistent action pattern to move you the way that you want to go. It's going to get easier and easier and you get into this role. Now, with that being said, what you'll also find is that if something comes and just takes you off of that course, it can feel tough to get it back up and going again. And that's where intentionality comes into play, is because you now have to make that intentional decision to again start the process, and understanding that our brains are tending to just want us to be comfortable, even though the discomfort and leaning in is what's making us better. So I would encourage you to lean in, make that change, make that attempt to start moving that way, and embrace all of the tough stuff that's gonna come. Because when you do that, you build up this resilience, you build up this mindset that nothing can overcome you, that regardless of how hard it may be, you may push through and you will find a way. And that piece, that resilience piece, is what really makes successful people successful. It's their ability to be resilient. And I hate to use myself as an example here, but for example, when I started putting videos on YouTube, they were bad. I was filming with my iPhone and I didn't know where any of this was gonna go, but the only commitment I made was that every week I would put out a video, and that was in 2016, I think. Since 2016, I haven't stopped. The videos have gotten better. I've learned how to be on camera more. I've gotten more comfortable with it. And every step of the way, I was making the uncomfortable decision to continue. The easy decision would have been to step back and just let it all fall away, because then I could have just floated. And I would have had to figure out something else, and somebody else would have had to pick that up for me. And that's where the division of discomfort versus comfort comes in. Somehow, I would have to pick up that part of my life that I was letting go, and somebody would need to take that on. And often that can show up as, you know, your job or leaning on somebody in a relationship where you kind of expect them to take care of that part of the life for you because you don't want to face the discomfort there. And that may be a bit of a challenging discussion to have for some people. And you may let me know in the comments, you know, about your particular situation. But all I can say is that from experience, the thing that has been most helpful to me in Dark Horse and my career and my life in general, this goes beyond the realm of what you see on camera here and even our programs online, is just that the hard, uncomfortable decisions that I have made have often been the most fruitful and the most rewarding, especially after I get to go through the process, because at the end I get to turn around and look at the field of work that is behind me and look at all of those decisions and what they aggregated to become the person that I am today. And frankly, I'm proud of who I am today and what Dark Horse is and the people that we get to help because of it. So I just wanted to remind you about this idea of leaning into the discomfort. Take advantage of it. It is a superpower that so few people are willing to embrace. And if you're the person who is willing to do it, you are going to see wild success in whatever you choose to pursue. If changing your behavior patterns and trying to figure out the keys to unlocking what it is that you want to chase down is interesting to you, hit that subscribe button. But more importantly, as I'm learning, hit the bell next to it, because that's gonna mean you're the first alerted whenever I come out with new videos. And if pursuing this mindset is really important to you because you know you have a progress and a future in mind that you wanna see, join me in this video right here, where I'm gonna be talking about the big step that you can take to actually make forward progress and forward action in your life.